Good morning, everybody. Before we begin, I want to mention this meeting's being live streamed and recorded, so I ask those in attendance to please silence their cell phone devices. The hour of 10 a.m. having arrived, I call this meeting of the Legislative Audit Advisory Commission to order. We have commission members joining the meeting both in person and virtually. For those joining virtually, please mute your microphones except for when speaking, as otherwise we tend to get an echo in the room here. Also, for those joining virtually, if you make a motion or second a motion, could you please state your name so we can be accurate with the meeting minutes that Mr. King is diligently taking here, I'm sure. And at any time, if there are any issues with hearing the audio of the meeting, please speak up and we will address it. Pursuant to Act 151 of June 30th, 1970, the Legislative Audit Advisory Commission is required to organize annually by electing a chairperson and a secretary. The Commission's prescribed duties are ensuring that an annual audit of the General Assembly occurs in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards pursuant to Section 10 of Article 8 of the Pennsylvania Constitution, examining the audit standards, and making recommendations about audits of the legislature. As is always the case, the final report is not released at this meeting because the members of the commission must first vote to accept the auditor's report. If the commission votes affirmatively to accept the report, following the meeting, the auditors will release the report and it will then be made publicly available on the commission's webpage. Nicole, would you please take the attendance?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Representative Sanchez.
Here.
Representative Struzzi. Here. Senator Gebhard. Here. Senator Collette.
Here.
Via Teams. Peter Bars.
Here via Teams.
Thank you. Mark Longjetti.
Here via Teams.
Ira Wise.
Here via Teams.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you. And now it's time for the annual reorganization of the commission. Are there any nominees for chair?
I would nominate Representative Ben Sanchez for the position of chair.
Thank you, Representative Struzzi. Do we have a second?
Second. Second, Senator Collette via Teams.
Thank you, Senator Collette. It's been moved and seconded that I serve as chair. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. And for the secretary position, I nominate Senator Gebhard. And do we have a second?
Second, Senator Collette via Teams.
Thank you, Senator Collette. It's been moved and seconded that Senator Gebhard serve as the secretary. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? The ayes have it. Now, for the approval of the minutes, we have distributed copies of the February 6, 2024 meeting minutes that have been provided to all members. Does anyone have any corrections to the minutes? And I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes. Can we get a second?
Second, Peter Bars via Teams.
Thank you. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The 2024 meeting minutes are approved. And I will now recognize Jacqueline Davidson of Boyd and Ritter for presentation by our independent auditors.
All right, thank you. All right, Chairman Representative Sanchez and members of the Legislative Audit Advisory Committee, thank you for the opportunity to present the June 30, 2024 audit of the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to all of you this morning. In addition to the audited financial statements, Boyer and Ritter has issued a required communications letter. We will address this document as well today. Let's begin with the required communication letter, or what is also called the committee governance letter. This letter is intended to inform the committee members about significant matters related to the conduct of the annual audit so that you can properly discharge your oversight responsibility and that Boyer and Ritter can comply with our professional responsibilities to the committee. First, our professional responsibilities required that we perform the audit in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the United States of America. Additionally, we issued a separate communication regarding the planned scope and timing of the audit. Under the budgetary basis of accounting, management can select among alternative accounting practices. In Boyer & Ritter's view, management has selected the preferable accounting practices. The significant accounting policies used by the General Assembly are described in Note 1 to the financial statements. The application of existing policies was not changed during the year. As you are aware, accounting estimates are an integral part of the financial statements prepared by management. With that said, sometimes in a financial statement, there exists certain estimates that are that are more significant than others. In your case, those that we, Boyer & Ritter, believe are significant relate to year-end commitments, including pension obligations and other post-employment benefits. We have reviewed and discussed with management the relevant facts available to them for use in calculating these estimates. We evaluated their key factors and assumptions and have determined they are reasonable in relation to the financial statements taken as a whole. The disclosures in the financial statements are objective, consistent, and clear. Again, the disclosures most significant are those related to commitments, including pension obligation and other post-employment benefits. There were no audit adjustments made during the audit. There were no uncorrected misstatements accumulated during the audit. We encountered no disagreements with management during the audit. We are not aware of any consultations management had with other accountants about accounting or auditing matters. We did not encounter any difficulties in dealing with management relating to the performance of the audit. We have requested and received certain representations from management as of December 4th, 2024. Are there any questions from the committee on the required communication letter before I proceed?
You may proceed.
Thank you. Okay. Boyer & Ritter audited the budgetary basis statement of financial affairs of the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for the year ended June 30, 2024, and the related notes to the financial statements. As you know, it is management's responsibility to prepare and present fairly these financial statements. It is the independent auditor's responsibility to opine on these statements. As mentioned during our overview of the required communication letter, Boyer & Ritter conducted the audit in accordance with the auditing standards generally accepted in the United States. Those standards require that we plan and perform the audit to obtain a reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement. An audit involves performing procedures to obtain audit evidence about the amounts and disclosures in the financial statement. The procedures we selected are based upon our judgment as auditors, including the assessment of risks of material misstatement of the financial statement. In making those risk assessments, we considered the internal controls of the General Assembly that are relevant to the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statement. However, we are not opining on the effectiveness of the internal controls. In addition, we evaluated the appropriateness of the accounting policies used and the reasonableness of the significant accounting estimates made by management, as well as evaluating the overall presentation of the financial statement. We believe the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our audit opinion. Therefore, in Boyer & Ritter's opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the appropriations, disbursements, transfers, commitments, and appropriation balances of the General Assembly for the year ended June 30, 2024, in accordance with the budgetary basis of accounting. Our audit was conducted for the purpose of forming an opinion on the financial statement as a whole. The supplementary information included in the schedule of disbursements by category is presented for the purpose of additional analysis and is not a required part of the financial statement. However, such information has been subjected to auditing procedures. Therefore, in our opinion, the supplementary information is fairly stated in all material respects in relation to the financial statements as a whole. Are there any questions from the committee on the financial statements? Okay, Representative Sanchez, my presentation is complete.
Do we have a motion to accept the required communication letter?
So moved. Maria Colette, online.
And do we have a second?
Second, Ira Weiss, online.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the communication letter is approved. Do we have a motion to accept the audit of the Statement of Financial Affairs of the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2024?
So moved, Peter Bars via Teams.
And do we have a second? Thank you both. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The audit is approved. And next, we have the engagement letter for 2025 provides that the audit fees are expected to remain similar to what they were last year, with total audit and GASB implementation maintenance fees not to exceed $187,500. That's the same amount as last year, so the costs are expected to remain the same. Do we have a motion to accept the engagement letter?
So moved, Peter Bars via Teams.
And can we have a second?
Second, Ira Weiss, via Teams.
Thank you both. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the engagement letter is approved. And I just want to say thank you to all the commission members for their time, and a special thank you to Mr. King for guiding me through this process and my first chairing of this meeting and my first appointment to this commission. So thank you very much, Chris. And with that, and thank you to our independent auditors. With that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.